Ask a Gen Z what their dream job is right now, and don't be surprised if the honest answer is unemployed with a mysterious source of income. Not CEO, not astronaut, not even remote job with good benefits, just money appearing from somewhere with no meetings attached to it. It sounds like a joke. It is a joke, but it's the kind of joke an entire generation keeps making over and over in comment sections and group chats, because underneath it, there's something that isn't funny at all. Let's talk about why this became the dream.
Here's the part that isn't an exaggeration for comedic effect. Entry-level hiring genuinely fell apart for a generation, and it happened fast. Youth unemployment has been sitting at roughly 2.5 times the national rate. New graduates have made up one of the largest shares of total unemployment recorded in decades, levels not seen since the late 1980s. Entry-level job postings collapsed by close to 30 percentage points in a little over a year, and underemployment, meaning you have a job but it's not full-time or it's got nothing to do with your degree, has climbed into double digits, in some reports well past 40%. Add in the part nobody wants to say out loud in a job interview, a meaningful chunk of the entry-level tasks that used to train new hires are now just handled by AI. Roughly 1 in 3 employers has already swapped junior busy work for automation, which means the roles that used to be the on-ramp, the stuff you learned on before you were trusted with anything bigger, are quietly disappearing, not because we're bad workers, but because the on-ramp itself got removed. So when someone says, just apply for jobs, understand that a lot of us have applied for jobs, dozens of them, hundreds in some cases, and the silence back isn't about effort. It's a structural problem, not a personality problem.
Here's the psychology of it, and I think it's more interesting than people give it credit for. When effort stops being reliably connected to outcome, when you can do everything right and still get nothing back, the brain looks for an exit that doesn't depend on effort at all. That's not laziness. That's a completely rational response to an irrational system. If working harder isn't the variable that predicts whether you eat this month, why would working harder be the fantasy you reach for? So the fantasy shifts. Not, I'll get promoted. Instead, what if the money just came? A relative you didn't know had a small inheritance. A crypto wallet from 2021 you forgot about that quietly appreciated. An old side project that somehow still pays out in tiny amounts nobody can explain. The appeal isn't the money itself. It's that none of those scenarios require a resume. It's why unemployed with a mysterious source of income hits so hard as a meme. It's the fantasy of being financially fine without having to survive the hiring process. It's currently breaking almost everyone who touches it. Okay, I want to know your version of this. In the comments, tell me your dream mysterious income. Is it a trust fund you don't have, a crypto bag from 2021, a rich long-lost uncle, or just vibes and manifestation? Be honest, I promise there's no wrong answer. And if this is the first honest take on the 2026 job market you've actually related to, do me a favor and subscribe. This channel is about naming what our generation is actually going through, not sugarcoating it, so more people need to see it than just the algorithm deciding to show it to you. Now, let's be fair to the fantasy, because some of it isn't actually fantasy anymore. A huge share of our generation has genuinely pivoted, and the numbers back it up. Large portions of recent graduates are seriously considering starting a business, picking up gig work or freelancing, instead of chasing a traditional entry-level role that might not exist for them anyway. That's not everyone giving up. That's a generation building income out of multiple smaller, less stable pieces because the one big stable piece got harder to reach. Some of that stacked income genuinely can look mysterious from the outside. A bit of freelance design work, a reselling account, some content that earns small ad revenue, a skill you monetized on the side that quietly adds up to something real. That version of mystery income is just diversified income. It's not magic, it's just less visible than a single job title on LinkedIn. But there's a version of the fantasy that is genuinely just cope, and it's worth naming honestly. Waiting for money to show up with zero input, refreshing crypto charts hoping this is the one that changes everything, or treating manifesting as a financial plan. That version doesn't build anything, and worse, it can quietly replace the smaller, less glamorous moves that actually would build something. The freelance gig, the small business idea, a skill you could be learning for free right now instead of doom scrolling. The healthy version of this dream isn't do nothing and get paid. It's stop assuming the only valid income is a single full-time job with a lanyard, because for a lot of us in 2026, that assumption is currently the thing standing between us and actually getting paid. I'm not going to end this with fake positivity, because that's not what this channel is about. The job market genuinely is broken for a lot of entry-level Gen Z right now, and that's not a you problem, it's a structural one. But inside that broken system, the generation that grew up online has also gotten unusually good at building income in strange, small, decentralized ways nobody's parents had a name for. That's not the same as mysterious income, it's just income that doesn't fit the shape our parents were told to expect. So maybe the real dream isn't unemployment with a mystery paycheck. Maybe it's just permission to stop treating one closed door as the only door that counts. If this resonated with you, or if you're in the middle of this exact struggle right now, tell me in the comments what you're doing instead of waiting on the mysterious income. I actually read all of them, and I think we need to hear each other's version of this more. If you want more honest, unfiltered takes on Gen Z, the economy, and what success actually looks like in 2026, subscribing genuinely helps. It tells the algorithm that this conversation matters. Like this video if any part of it called you out a little, share it with a friend who's deep in the job search trenches right now, and I'll see you in the next one.